Hey, what's up guys, my name is Visathep. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of UdiahsWorkshop. During today's episode, we'll be in the second part of the RX-O Unicorn Destroy mode. We'll be doing his top half. So let's get into it. Alright, so for our first step, it looks like we need E16, E17, and B3. So let's get those pieces together. Alright, so let's put those three pieces together. So this one goes on and it connects to it like this. Just clip it on, and then for the next piece you're gonna do the same thing as well, and it just slides on really easy. There you go. Alright, so our next section, we need A22 and a PC5. Alright, so the second part of part 1 requires you to put in A22 into the socket right here. Make sure the nub is pointing upwards. All you do is slide it in. And then for the PC5, it goes in between this socket right here. Make sure the nub is also facing up as well. So you can see that there's a socket right there that needs to face downwards. So you do is slide it in like that. Moving on to our next step, it looks like we need B5, PC11, and A7. Alright, so it looks like A7 goes on the bottom of PC11. Just make sure the nub is facing out. So it goes on like this. So it should look like that. And then B5 goes on top. And make sure those two little nubs right there are facing the same way as A7. So it should look like that when you're done. So on the next step, it looks like you need E19, and then there's also a sticker going on top of that piece as well. So let's get that right now. E19 goes on top. It's a small piece, so be careful not to drop it. So it looks like that little end piece right there goes into the socket like this, and then it just connects like that. And then the sticker goes on top. So in the picture, it has a little icon which shows that this is the one right here. So I'm assuming that's it. So all you do is take out your X-Acto blade and then peel the sticker off with it. So what I do is I use the tip and just pick a corner and then just gently slide it off. If it doesn't work on that side, try the other side. So it comes off like that, and then you just peel it off. Alright, and then this goes on top of this, like that. Hold it the way that the picture is showing you. And I believe this goes right over here. Once you get the sticker on top, you can just place it with your hands. Just align it with the piece. And then once you think that you have it, just push down and apply it. Like that. And then hopefully it is aligned properly. I like the high grade decals. They're pretty challenging to put on compared to your real grades. It's just my opinion, but yeah, it should just go on like that. There you go. So when you're finished applying the sticker, just repeat the same process again. So you should have two of the exact same things. I fixed the sticker, so it looks a lot better than I did it the first time. So now we're on the next part of section 2. So on our next step, we need B9. So once you're finished cutting off B9, it looks like it has those two sockets for those two pieces that we just made. So all you do is connect it to that socket and just make sure everything's aligned. And just repeat the process again right here. And there you go. So the next step requires you to put these two nubs into the cycle frame sockets, as you can see on this side right here. And then it just attaches together like this. Just make sure everything is flush and there's no gaps. Alright. So there you go. On step 3, we need A17, A30, also B1 and B2. Alright, so I already went ahead and cut off those pieces. So you need to attach B1 and B2 to the sides right here of the arms. So it's just going to go into that socket right there. And just make it squared, as you can see on the side. And be careful, the nub is kind of short and thin, so you could end up breaking it if you're not careful. There's one side. Do the same thing to the other. So make sure you align the joints. There you go. And then A17 goes on top. So as you can see, there's a little slit right there for A17, and you just combine those two together. And it goes on top like that. And then all you do is just push down and make sure it's on there tightly. So it's gonna look like that. And then when you flip it upside down, you'll see that there's two nubs and a slot right there. So when you look at this, you see that there's two little sockets to align with those two nubs. So just align them together. And you should hear a click. Alright, so our next step, we need B7 and B8. So it looks like it just goes in between the chest area right here. Just be careful, those pieces are kind of small as well. So let's get those pieces. So all you do is put the nub inside the slot. It should look like that. And then you should hear a click. So it ends up looking like that. So now on to step 4, you need A38, E26, and A37. And then moving forward, you need A39, D1, and another D1. So let's get those pieces as well. As you can see, A38 has a lot of nubs. And then when you pick up E26, you can see that this side has a lot of sockets. So all you do is align those sockets and nubs together. Like that. And then it should click on together. And then A37, you can see that it has its sockets right there. And then you just have to align it with the nubs. So this goes on top like that. It should come together easily. So looking closer at the manual, it looks like you actually need 4 pieces of D1. And it just goes on the bottom of the armor 4 times. And just make sure they're all the way in and flush. And then this one goes to the side right here. And then you're going to do the same thing to this side right here as well. Turn it around. So you can see that red cycle frame there, that little nub. That's where A39 goes on top. And then you see that nub right there. Just clean it out with your X-Acto blade. So just remember, in between the clips, I'm doing the cleaning. I can't tell you how important that is for your model. Not only does it look clean, it just makes all the pieces come together. So make sure that you guys are doing that as well. So every time that you're finished with your blade, just remember, put it back in the cap. Alright, so step 5, you need B4, D4, another B4, and a D5. And then going down here, you need A32 and A31. Alright, the next step, grab the back piece, and then A31 is going to go inside the slot right there, as you can see inside the cycle frame. Just align the slots together, and then it should just slide in. Like that. Alright, so once you do the same thing to the other side, you could put D5 and B4, they connect together like that. So I guess this represents his beam saber. It goes on the shoulder right there, so this peg goes into that slot. Like that. And then you just do the same thing for the other side. And there you go. And then you connect the back piece to the front piece. As you can see, there's a little slot right there for the back piece to go in. So you just join the two together. And then you have the front and back attached together. So those are cool. You can see that they're little boosters. I just realized that. It's really nice. Alright, so on to step 6. So on step 6, it looks like you need A21, B21, B24, and B19. So that looks like we're starting to build the headpiece. On today's episode, I'm actually going to stop on step number 7. I have to go pick up my girlfriend in a bit, and I want to be able to edit this video and also give you guys an episode for today. Alright, so it looks like A21 is actually your face part. It requires us to put on the eye decals. In my opinion, this is probably the most important step on your whole Gundam build. You can either make it or break it. On my Zeta Gundam, I had some crooked eyes, so just make sure that you really take your time on this process. So what I'm going to do here is peel off the sticker. Once you have the sticker peeled off, and then you could actually go in with your thumb, just peel it off like that. So what I like to do is to put the sticker on the tip of the blade, so that allows me to apply it easier. Just make sure when you're looking at your Gundam face, they have indentions to place your sticker. So just gently put it in. Once it's on your Gundam, you go in with your finger and apply it. So once you have it in a place that you think is great, just go for it, alright? Also, before you start working on any other part of the face, just make sure you apply the sticker, because if you try to do it afterwards, it's not going to fit in because all the armor is going to be in the way. So our next step is to put B21, which is the mouthpiece, into the socket. And it just goes on like that. And then B24 is actually going to connect to the back of the head, like that. So once that's applied to the back of the head, now we could put in the cheek pieces. So then B18 is going to be the right side of the head. So there's a joint right there, and then it goes into the socket right there. So just align those two things together, and then everything else should follow in line as well. So it's going to end up looking like that once you apply it. And then for the other side, you just align that joint into that socket there. And then it just comes together like that. And then just close it. So on step number 7, it looks like we're going to attach the V-fin. So you need A2 and B22, and then after that B23. And then you also need to get a sticker, which is that icon right there, the peel icon. So I already have the sticker in place for B23. All I need to do now is apply the pressure for it to stay in place. Alright, there you go. Once you're done applying the sticker, you put B22 into that socket right there, and then the V-fin has a little edge right there, which is going to sit on top of the head right there, and then just push this in. It should fit like that, as you can see. So once you're done applying the V-fin, B23 is going to go on top of that socket right there. So all you do is just attach it to it and push. So there you go. Once you're done applying that, put the headpiece onto the nub right there. Alright guys, so the next episode, I guess it'll be part 3. I might go into part 4 as well. I just want to give you guys quality over quantity. Just make sure all the films come out really clear. I am sorry for my last episode. I know it's kind of blurry, but I hope on today's episode I redeemed myself a little bit. So this is your RX-O Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode, the top half. With that note, it's time to pick up the wifey. If you guys liked today's episode, like it or share it. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can contact me at UdiahsWorkshop@gmail.com. The links will be in the description box below. If you guys have any comments, please leave them and I get to them as soon as I can. If you guys like today's channel, please subscribe. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.